Hey guys, Jeff Ryan here, having some fun with the T-Birds today. Having a fantastic time actually. I love the T-Birds. I really do. I think they're great lines, good looking cars. They're fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic. And this one came in a couple weeks ago, and I know I needed the bumpers, I know I needed the driver, I know I needed the windshield, all that stuff. The one thing that I had to address first is, you see that back screw post? It might hold a screw, but I would hate to tighten that and have that bugger crack off. So we're gonna take some Alumilite, we're gonna fix that. But here's one thing, and you know, with the T-Birds, you see how the black, or the back bumper there has the red taillights? Well, if you get something off of eBay, from Rather Boring, they're not there. I'm gonna show you how to paint those without a paintbrush. I'm going to show you how to paint those without a paintbrush. It's kind of an easy technique. It's a very easy technique, and I'll talk you through it step by step. We'll definitely get to that. So I want to get this underway. I know my Alumilite is on the is inside the house. I'm going to have to get that and get all set up for that. Just a sec. All right, here's the Alumilite I use. It's a part A, part B. And it makes a very, very hard plastic when it's done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix them up, and I'm gonna put a couple drops in there, and I'm gonna put some tape around that back screw post so none leaks out. And again, when this stuff is hard, you can drill it, you can sand it. It is absolutely wonderful. The only caution is with this, it's going to come out tan. Hey, we just happen to have a tan T-Bird. Don't know if it's going to match exactly, but if you want to match the paint, they do make a white Alumilite, and they do have dyes you can add to it, but trying to get the color just right, it's hard to do. Now, I know we talked a lot about the goop method in the last video. There, the color is going to match exactly. It's going to match exactly. And thank you guys for hitting me up for the molds. I don't know how many I sent out, but you guys are really did good as far as hitting me up for the molds, and I sent them out to you. And here's the thing, there's a number of goop methods out there. I'm going to show you some pictures of some guys and what great work they're doing. There's one of my viewers, he goes, hey, listen, I don't use the goop method, I use some JB Weld. Well, JB Weld, I get it, you can do it, you can certainly do it, but then you have to paint it. You gotta match the color and you gotta paint it. So that's the caveat there. That's why I like the goop method, because you know the color's gonna come out good. And if you have a mold for the wheel wells, the trunk, the hood, whatever it is, it's gonna come out real good. All right, to start the project on the T-Bird, the first thing I want to do is I want to take it to the sink and wash it up, get off all the grime that's probably been on there for decades. I'm going to clean it up, and again, after we get it cleaned up, we will start on that back screw post there. And I know I'm going to have to drill out where the windshield is, but you look how gunky it is. It looks like they tried to re-glue the original windshield, something like that. If I have to, I'll get a solvent like the Goo Gone or something like that, and we can probably clean that up a whole lot better. But let me get it washed up first. Back from the sink, it's washed up, came out pretty good. I even wicked out the screw post there. You don't want any water in there if you're gonna put a screw in there, so always wick it out. And the glue that they had, that they must have tried to use to glue the windshield back on, with the warm water, it became very pliable and came right off. So I cleaned up real good. But the holes there, the holes where the windshield goes, I'm gonna have to drill those out. And as far as the size bit that I use, it's 0.9 millimeters is what I use to get those out. So let me go ahead and clean those holes out, and we can see if we can dry fit that windshield next. Got the holes drilled out, only took a second, but I got them drilled out all the way through. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this next part. I'm gonna go ahead and dry fit the windshield there. Dry fitted it, and it looks good. It looks absolutely wonderful. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go ahead and, I know that the bumpers fit, and I know that the drivers fit, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue all that up real quick. I am done gluing, and this is the hardest part for me, is not to fuss with it, not to touch it, just let it set. After a bit, I will come back and I'll show you how to paint the back bumper taillights without a paintbrush, guys. That's coming up next. I know it's been plenty of time. I let everything dry. Everything's in there real good. Before I go ahead and put a chassis and all that stuff on and paint the back tail lights in there, I did just put a piece of tape around that back screw post. And with the Alumilite, I got these pipettes here. I'm going to use one to stir the Alumilite. I'm going to use the other one to drop a couple of drips in there, and then we just got to let that bugger dry. I stirred and mixed the Alumilite there, and I took the pipette and I flooded it down into the screw post there. So once again, we just have to let it dry. We take the tape off, and then we go ahead and re-drill it. When the Alumilite is that color, it is dry and it is hard. It's been enough time, and the same thing over here with the screw post. What I want to do next is take the tape off and see what we got. The tape is off, and I filled it up just a little bit too much, but that'll just sand down. And when I finally sand it down as much as I need there, and I'm going to use the Dremel, the barrel sander, then I'll go ahead and re-tap it. Been getting after it with the drum barrel sander here that I have, and I just hold it flat up against it. I'm not quite there yet, but we're getting close. We're getting real close. I got, I don't know, just a little bit more to do. Then after I get it to where I can see the original screw posts, you know, underneath the Alumilite, that's when I'm going to go ahead and re-tap the hole. I have got it sanded down real good. Right in the center, that's where the Alumilite is, and you can tell the cracks on either side there, they're filled in nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that, and then we'll go ahead and thread it and get some get the screw in there. Got done with drilling it out. Next I'm going to do is put the screw in there, and I'm going to just take it. I like these screwdrivers that have that little swivel on the end, because when you hold it and you're going back and forth, you're trying to get the threads into the screw post there, it's a whole lot easier than using a screwdriver that doesn't have it. So let me go ahead and start getting this threaded. Okay, it doesn't take more than just a minute or two, and I've got it, I think, where I want it. I'm going to put a chassis in there just to see if I need to do a little bit more, see how that is. If I've got to do a little bit more, fine, but right now it looks pretty good. Tell you what, that's exactly where I want it. It tightens up real nice. Time to address the back bumper tail lights. This is the material I use to replace the screw post. It's styrene, and it's made by Evergreen. You can find it all over eBay. They make different size tubes. Now, I've already done the other end, but this is what it looks like when it's flat. My point for showing you this end is I just bevel it a little bit. Reason being is, and you see how it's, let me see if I can get it in focus here. You see how it's red? I've done past or previous T-Bird back bumper, you know, tail lights with this, and I just bevel it a little bit so it fits into, I'm trying to grab it here, so it fits into the circle there. So what I'll do is I'll just dip this end into some red paint. I've got some Testor's red paint here. I'll make a little blotch. I just dip it in, and then you just kind of spin it around, and then you've got a perfect tail light. Look at that. You know what? I mean, that's just perfect. That's absolutely perfect. I got to set it down, let it dry. I don't dare fuss with it and put it on the chassis until everything's dry. Very good. Now, I'll tell you what, in the interim here, I'm going to let that dry, and I want to show you some photographs that some of my viewers have sent me doing the goop method. We got some really cool stuff. Let me go ahead and go inside. Okay, now the first one here, one of my viewers, Jim, he had sent me these, and they look horrible. They absolutely look horrible. But he was telling me that he has a little bit of a different way to use the goop method. You know, I mean, you look at him, you go, hey, which one's better? I don't know. That's a hard call. But here's what he did. Let's go to the next picture. Scroll down here a little bit. You see what he did? The donor car, this one up here, he cut the side panel off. It has got a little bit of the wheel well, and he cut the other side panel off to fix the other wheel well. Now, and he cut it to fit there. This little piece right here, that was this. So he knew how much he needed to fill this in. So when he cut that out, scroll back down here, and he made it, he's going to make it, you know, fit right there. So what does he do is he sticks it in there, and he goops it from the inside. That's what he does, goops it from the inside, and it doesn't look too bad. But there's no wheel well. There's no wheel well there. So he's started carving out the wheel well, and he tells me in the message, it's not done yet. But that's a fantastic way to use the goop method because he's joining the pieces from the inside there, and then he's starting to do the wheel wells. Now this cries out for, if you had a mold of the wheel wells and you did the goop method, you could fill all that stuff in. You could fill all that in. You could fill all that in. But I just thought it was a fantastic way for him to do that. Okay, good. Coming up here, this is my buddy Scott Snyder. I mean, look at the VW. That was hacked. That was absolutely hacked. Look at the wheel wells. I mean, the front, the back. What did they do? Take their mom's kitchen knife and cut it before he got it. And Scott's the one. He told me he uses the JB Weld, and I get it, guys. I get it. My only caution with that though is you have to paint it, and if you can match the paint, great. But when you again do the goop method and you're using the plastic of the same color, you know it's going to come out really, really, really good. But that's just a horrible, horrible, horrible looking wheel well job, whoever did that originally. Here's the next picture. This is after he's got the JB Weld and he's got it repainted. Wow. I mean, that looks a whole lot better. But again, you're using the JB Weld and you have to sand it and make it look the way you want. If he would have the molds of these, it would have came out absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. You can still use the JB Weld and it would still come out real, real good. Once again, you do have to paint it. So fantastic. Absolutely fantastic work. All right, here is the last one I want to show you. We have a 63 Galaxy, and this is done by Anthony Jr. 0856. That's his eBay. And when I saw it, I had to click it on. I love the old Galaxies. I really do. I really do. And one thing over here that he's done is he's made a video of it going around the track. That I really appreciate. Next picture, looking good. Looking good. You can tell there's something going on, but I'm not sure what. Let me scroll down just a little bit here. Okay, yeah, looking at there, it looks strong. It looks strong. And one more. Yeah, everything looks great. Everything looks really good. Let me scroll through some more of the pictures here. Sorry about that. Okay, now here's a side view of him fixing the wheel wells. The wheel wells are all gooped in. You've got the wheel wells all gooped in right there. And so the next picture is he shows you what it looks like after he's done. Then he does the driver's side there. Look at the front wheel well. Look at the back wheel well. He's got them all gooped in. And then his next picture here, here's what it looks like when he's done. Anthony Jr., wonderful, absolutely wonderful work. Absolutely wonderful work. And I think, again, if he would have had the mold of the wheel wells, it probably would have been a whole lot easier to do the entire project, but he got it done and it just looks fantastic. Exactly perfect? Nope, but really good, really good. Let's see if he's got a few more pictures. Yeah, he's got pictures all over the place. And I love the white tractor, I really do. And okay, now, you see the inside of the wheel wells there? Fantastic job, absolutely wonderful job. You got to hand it to the guys that are doing the goop method. Wonderful job. Just got the body on the chassis there, and let's make sure we got the transformer on. Yes, we do. That's on. See what we get, guys. Digging it. Look at that. Look at that. So the back bumper with the taillights, everything's dry. I even touched up the hair on the guy. Even touched up the hair on there. So we got a T-Jet that looks just absolutely phenomenal. Remember what it looked like without the windshield and everything on there? All the gunk and everything? It looks like 100% better, doesn't it? Absolutely 100% better. All right, guys. I've got a couple more projects coming up. I hope you guys use the molds that I sent out. And if you do use the molds, like I said before, show me some pictures, show me a video, whatever you can do. I would love to see it. I'd love to see it. Boy, I like it, T-Birds. All right, guys, if you need anything, I always say this, let me know. I'm here for you. Take care. See ya.